Hello, let's go.
So welcome one and all to a picturesque evening here. A clear night, all the ingredients for a showcase game that the passionate crowd demands. I'm Peter Drury, and here with me in the commentary box, I'm glad to report, is Jim Beglin.
Hi Peter, it's great to be here.
Expectations and decibels both rising fast here. Things are heating up and we'll be getting underway very soon. If you have just joined, you have just missed the kickoff. Andrei Shevchenko, Jim, European Player of the Year, League winner, European champion, the top scorer in Italy on more than one occasion. It's an extraordinary list of achievements.
It certainly is. He really was the deadliest striker around. Absolutely lethal.
Goal scorer, match winner, national treasure. He is all of those things and much, much more. Messi. He is starved of space and time. Tries to pass it through. Roberto Carlos promptly onto that, and that is that. Well, they could break here. And he's managed to get free. Messi. Tries a shot! That wasn't the worst effort in the world. Nicely weighted ball. Cafu. And it's Davids. Aimed beyond the defence. Rafinha. Cafu. And here's the chance to counter. Well timed, excellent interception. Davids. Rafinha making good progress. He has found the way through. Rafinha. He's having a hit! Oh, he hit that sweetly. Cafu calmly anticipates. Ended up in no man's land.
Drogba really was well marshalled there because he was denied the opportunity to turn.
So Jim, what has caught your eye in these early exchanges?
Well, neither side has really grabbed the initiative, I would say. Both must have come in with a view of not making any early mistakes. So we're seeing some conservatism here.
And it's Messi.
Messi really needed to concentrate on protecting the ball. Then again, he was being very closely marshalled.
Pass somewhat off target. Roberto Carlos is one of the key ingredients in the team's attack. Messi. Oh, it's come loose. And again. Oh, that is rather wayward.
Oh, such good technique as well. That was exquisite. It's a real shame he couldn't find a finish after that.
Chips it through. Oh, he had to make that, and he did make it.
Ronaldinho clearly held on to it far too long there. Did he do enough to find someone? He looked as if he had his mind set on trying to do everything his way.
Well, nothing to report in terms of goals, but it's not for the want of trying.
Well, it's certainly not a drab affair, Peter. It's had its moments.
Shapes to shoot! And it's a goal! One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Nepal are such an adept counter-attacking team. They produced something out of nothing there. A few seconds was all it took for them to convert a defensive situation into a goal, and it's very impressive.
Nepal have fired themselves in front.
It's so often the case with goal scorers, little influence, and all of a sudden, bang.
That pass is somewhat less than ideal.
Well, I think the opposition saw that pass coming a mile off, and it wasn't the best decision.
Cannavaro spots it and intercepts. Looking for the run. Well, there is a look that says it all. A piercing stare.
Yeah, he just didn't seem to get enough on the pass, Peter, did he?
Well, a glitch with the rangefinder there, and evident annoyance.
Well, the pass wasn't good enough, and he knows it.
Davids is offering some sort of an apology there.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
He's gone for goal! That was quite a hit.
That will annoy the manager. They're making themselves too predictable here.
Now he's got space here, and he was quick to react. 30 minutes gone. Scores! Oh, he's given that plenty, but no. And that could set him on his way. Oh, that's takes a shot! Goal!
And once more, we're all square. You score, we score. Yeah, they say that fortune favours the brave, and we've just seen an example. This team has real personality and character.
After 33 minutes.
does it all with an air of efficiency and simplicity. Oh, that's excellent composure because the keeper put as much pressure on as he could by not committing sooner.
Barcelona restore parity.
Well, they just couldn't have responded any better, Peter. Yeah, there's the old cliche about how teams can lose focus after scoring, but you still have to take your chances. Brilliant.
Oh, that's a clever-looking ball. We expected better, and so did he. Good chance here! And the keeper has reacted superbly there.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
Nepal with their first corner, the first in the game for either side actually. Keeper's dealt with that. That is good pressure, just hounded him off it. Barcelona are looking to go forward now. Khan gets it away. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. Chiellini. And they'll start all over again with the goalkeeper. Cannavaro. Roberto Carlos. Xavi Alonso. Great defending, strong and determined. Well, that tackle was certainly sturdy. Well done. And no, that was never going to make it. Xavi Alonso. Nice looking ball. And Messi! Rijkaard is always looking to break lines. He's going to be disappointed with that. Looking for a runner. That's been intercepted. Engages and forces him off the ball. He won't be happy with that one. Lovely pass, but can he get there? He's found a way through. Messi!
Oh, no shortage of confidence there. Messi just backs himself every time. Give him a challenge and he rises to it.
1 minute added time.
That has been cut short. Can he get it through? Roberto Carlos. And for the first half, that is that. Well, the glass is either half full or half empty. Neither side yet truly to impose themselves, and it's level pegging at half-time. So there was the first half.
Well, you have to ask questions how this has stayed 1-1, Peter. I do think, though, that the way spaces have been found in key areas with relative ease will be a real concern, something that needs addressing, and fast.
So 45 minutes of uncompromising football, and at the break, it's one each. And hostilities have resumed at the start of the second half. Rijkaard. Not where it came from. Cannavaro cuts out the pass. Well, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Cafu kept his eye on it, and he's there. Nicked it back promptly. Nick Scholes. Well, it didn't look good for a while, but that was brave defending. Can he finish? Goal! Barcelona! And the comeback is complete. There was to be only one outcome.
Well, how's that for composure, Peter? You can see the keeper tried to put as much pressure on him by staying upright, but it didn't faze him, not the slightest.
Barcelona with the lead.
Yeah, I always felt this was coming. There was a clear increase in both intensity and tempo. Now all they need is to try and maintain it.
Xavi Alonso. He's had it taken off him. Can he get on the end of this? Shot a goal! And that's a good finish. And this is getting better and better. A momentary lapse, mercilessly exploited. They were absolutely lethal.
Welcome to the reality of modern football, Peter. You get pressed from the front and you have no time on the ball whatsoever. You can't afford to switch off for a moment.
Barcelona now in a position far more desirable.
And things are much healthier in their favour. Mind you, you would have thought that when the last one went in.
Scholes. Rafinha. Shevchenko. And Rafinha. And that is a little undercooked. Now, can they get him away? It's a good one he's making out on the left. He's trying to hit the front line here. Short changes him with that pass.
Well, the way this game is offering less possession, they'll need to have a very good conversion rate.
That's a little off target. No way through. Xavi Alonso. Rafinha. Looking to play him in. Scholes. Messi. But they've got it again. Cafu. That was good pressing, forced the error to put an end to it before things could get even more threatening. Now it's Drogba. Ronaldinho receives it in a good position here. Now that's a fine challenge. Scholes. Well, he has slightly undercooked that one.
They should have done a lot better there. The final ball was very poor.
Now it's Drogba. Oh, well played, well sorted out. Xavi Alonso. And it's Messi. Messi gets on his bike and on the move. The pass is intercepted. Oh, easy pickings there. Now it's Shevchenko. And this is Drogba. Drogba has alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. Looking for options for movement. Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
His teammates are really annoyed with that, you know, and they have every right to be.
Whatever he had in mind, that was not it. Davids. He's a sharp little ball here. Drogba showed plenty of zest in getting to the ball, but couldn't quite sort it out. Messi picks it up out wide. Shevchenko. And this is Drogba. And it's Drogba. And that is well cleared. That's a throw.
Substitution for Barcelona. Number 19, Shevchenko. Number 7.
And he's managed to gift it
Rafinha.
back.
Coming on the field.
Cannavaro.
Number 17,
Chiellini.
Fernando Torres.
Scholes.
Number 22, De
And
Bruyne.
it's Scholes. Throw it. Good steal, he just read it. He steps in, and that's the end of that. Just a quarter of an hour to play. Torres. Searching pass he's played there. Xavi Alonso. Nicely intercepted. That pass isn't the best. Now that looks a decent ball.
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
Xavi Alonso couldn't squeeze it through. That's an imaginative pass. Roberto Carlos. That pass has been well intercepted. Great vision. Well, the run has been sold a little bit short. And the shot! Brilliant save from Buffon!
Substitution for Barcelona. Number 18, Didier Drogba. Coming on to replace him is
Roberto
number 15,
Carlos.
Batistuta. Substitution in progress.
Couch. It's gone all the way through to the keeper. Knocks it into space. And he's intervened well there. And it is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
A slightly better goal would have led to a very different outcome there.
Nepal clearly didn't help themselves by telegraphing that one. It was always going to be intercepted.
Drogba unable to make it happen for all his good intentions. Tries to play it through. Quick look, thought about cutting inside. That's a little off target. And it's Xavi Alonso. It's a lovely, neat pass. And he's lost his man here.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Rijkaard defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man. Cannavaro. Xavi Alonso.
Has been indicated.
Time added on will be 2 minutes. Chiellini. Roberto Carlos. Here's Cannavaro. That could spell trouble. Oh, a gilt-edged chance. Oh, shoot. There's the shot.
Euphoria, utopia, and they are cavorting. With fun and fury, they continue to do their thing.
A horrible blip, a situation utterly avoidable that has resulted in considerable embarrassment.
Yeah, they've only got themselves to blame. Mistakes in those areas are very punishable.
It's starting to look like a done deal now. And there goes the final whistle. A game that is a tale of one that got away. A position of great promise they established, but they lost momentum, they lost intensity, they lost their lead, and ultimately they lost the game.
That today's match day program.
Your reflections then, Jim?
Well, there was a distinct lack of clarity or commitment in
Thank you.
Well, what a sight this is. A beautiful evening and the promise of a match that will really get the juices flowing.
I'm Peter Drury, and this is Jim Beglin. A delight to have him on board. Hi, Peter. It's great to be here.
Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. We're up and running then.
The midfield three, Peter, I think are going to be key in this lineup because it's a very expansive system.
It certainly looks a very front-footed approach.
It is, and with the front three, especially the wide men, running at and beyond the defence, there's going to be an awful lot asked of the midfield. They have to supply those balls the attack can run onto, while at the same time maintaining the team's overall shape by linking the front and back.
Now it's Messi, somewhat off target. We expected better, and so did he. He steps in, and that's the end of that.
Oh, he'd have done well to reach that.
Goes long and straight, and the pass is intercepted. That's a good foray he's making. Now, can they get him away? Aimed beyond the defence. Spread to the right. And Messi! Barcelona with the corner, they're first. Alonso! No, he didn't quite meet it right. Messi, and it's Count. Cafu finding himself in space. Cafu made a surge from fullback, as it turned out unsuccessfully. And he cuts out the supply.
Alonso.
Oliver Kahn, a huge man with a huge presence and a big voice in the game.
And big in intensity too, such a fierce competitor. Put a foot wrong and he'll be sure to let you know about it.
Well, he just commands respect, doesn't he? Respect of everyone, teammate and opponent alike.
Yeah, and he'll be setting the highest of standards out there, and he expects them to be met. No rest for that defence.
There will be a throw-in. Intercepts the throw, that's well read. Lovely pass, but can he get there? Chiellini. Very early stages, Jim, but anything up to now that's of note?
Well, neither side has really grabbed the initiative, I would say. Both must have come in with a view of not making any early mistakes, so we're seeing some conservatism here.
Chiellini attempts a clearance. Threads one in. This is Messi. Xavi Alonso. Nepal are still to register a shot on target. As a matter of fact, a shot of any type. Looking for options for movement. Drogba! Goal! Barcelona! And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
18 minutes.
Felt it was coming, 1-0.
Yeah, and just as the manager's been reminding his players, this is the time where they can't afford to let their focus slip.
Roberto Carlos. He won't be happy with that one. Knocks it into space. This interception, his positioning was spot on. Tries from distance. It's off target and by quite a way.
Nepal really are good at what they're doing. They'll gladly take any opportunity to launch that counter.
And the keeper's given it away. And it's Xabi Alonso. He's having a hit! And the keeper has reacted superbly there.
Xabi Alonso actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
Roberto Carlos goes short. Davids. And now they can spring out of defence. And the through ball. Decent chance!
That's alert and sharp and very well played.
Now it's Messi. Cannavaro did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. And he plays one through. That's a simple one for the keeper.
Well, it's not the best when it comes to decision making. Okay, initially he probably wasn't forward in the space to hold on to it, but the longer he did that, the more he was going to be swamped.
Oh, they could be caught out here. Looking for the run. It's a sharp little ball here. That's a cute ball. Cannavaro makes the interception. And it's Messi. Messi. That's a good run he's making there. Oh, such a clever touch. Oh, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. And the shot! And it's hit the woodwork and out! Xabi Alonso. Drogba. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out. Oh, given away. Rafinha. No way through. Chiellini. And it's Davids.
To get it done.
Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution... It's Drogba! Firm header, just off target.
He did so well there, it's just a shame about the accuracy.
Tries to play it through. And this is Drogba. Oh, important interception. Adams. Messi. Well, the boss won't be happy about that at all. They were pedestrian in possession and carried almost no threat at all. Well, that looks a decent ball. through there. Nicely aimed pass. Tries to pass it through. Messi! That was superb goalkeeping.
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played.
And it's Messi. Now it's Drogba. Always onto this. Tries a shot! And it's in! And on the stroke of half-time, a priceless goal. They forced the error and extracted the maximum punishment.
Welcome to the reality of modern football, Peter. You get pressed from the front and you have no time on the ball whatsoever. You can't afford to switch off for a moment.
And that is indeed the final act. Endeavour in the first half. It is quite a game. Breathless. Well, the weather here today is not playing ball. We have heavy rain. The pitch underfoot may very quickly become soggy and difficult to play upon, and the players will soon be soggy themselves. It is more than damp, and this will examine the fibre of both sides. I'm Peter Drury, and providing analysis and expert opinion alongside me will be Jim Becklin.
Well, I can tell you I'm truly delighted to join you, Peter, and thank you very much for that.
Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. We are just getting started.
In a system like this, Peter, the winger-fullback combinations can be absolutely crucial.
Yeah, and no doubt you can expand on that for us, Jim.
Well, there's just so many potential options and movements, overlapping, underlapping, wingers vacating spaces to be occupied by fullbacks, coming inside, creating overloads down the middle on either flank. You get those right, and this can be a very effective system.
A tried and tested formula.
And believe it or not, Peter, we even did that back in my day.
And he was quick to react. Played into space. There's a sharp little ball here. Messi. Lovely pass, but can he get there? He's found a way through. Applies the finish. Xabi Alonso does really well to win the ball there. Counts! Big relief, it just needed better contact. Peerless Didier Drogba, just a standout hero to so many.
One of Africa's finest and a huge reputation for being a big game player.
Big games, 9 goals in 9 cup finals during his time in London. By any measure, those are pretty special ones.
Why, he's very much adored.
Good read, needed to be. Adams, he's going to be disappointed with that. That's a lovely pass. Buffon claims comfortably. And it's Messi. It's been a pretty high-octane start, at least from one side's perspective.
Yeah, they've been livelier and hungrier and looked the more likely to register first.
Takes a shot! Could be danger here. It's going to be another throw. Drogba, that's a little off target. No, not quite on the same wavelength. Roberto Carlos kept aware, and it is reclaimed easily. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out. So we're still where we started right now. Looking to play him in. Cannavaro. Xabi Alonso. Well, that is not the best ball. And he offers an apologetic look.
Encouraged the pass with an intelligent run, but the pass just lacked pace.
Xabi Alonso. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. And he plays one through. Khan reads a side relief as he gets his hands on the ball. And that is a little undercooked. Messi. Ambitious ball here. And there's green grass ahead of him.
Are certainly playing with an intense focus in executing their plan here.
Great vision. He's found space here. This looks promising. And he's got away from... Tries one from range!
And the keeper has reacted superbly there. Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
Barcelona with their first corner. The first in the game for either side, actually. He'll try from distance! Nepal now has the chance to go the other way. Nice interception, well timed. Xavi Alonso is sporting a guilty look after that.
He made it look a bit predictable.
It's run loose, and again! Oh, it's come loose. And it's Riker. He's having a pop! Oh, terrific save from the keeper.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it.
It's their second corner of the game. Roberto Carlos goes... And Messi! Oh, that was a brilliant save.
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played.
Now it's Messi. Messi! Oh, the ball's come loose here. And now a sudden chance. And a chance! He is desperate to get on the score sheet. Not this time.
Well, the breakthrough hasn't come yet, Peter, but you do feel they're upping the ante here. They'll get the reward if they can stick at this.
We expected better, and so did he. And he's decided to go for it. Into the arms of the goalkeeper.
Nepal really have been deserted by their composure and allowed frustration to take over, and it's not a good sign.
That is good pressure, just hounded him off it.
Messi really was well marshalled there because he was denied the opportunity to turn.
Now that's well seen too. Well, quality clearly deserted him at the crucial moment.
Well, the pass wasn't good enough, and he knows it.
He's gone down, but the referee just tells him to get back up again. Can he get on the end of this? That's rather hopeful. Good try, very good try in fact.
Well, he looks like he's annoyed with himself there. He didn't do an awful lot wrong, did he?
Messi. Pass somewhat off target. It is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
Yeah, he just didn't seem to get enough on the pass, Peter, did he?
The pass is intercepted. Ronaldinho is wide and looking to get onto this. Well, clearly he didn't mean it that way, and he is as disappointed as anyone.
Did he that? Because it had a decent chance of progressing.
Oh, easy pickings there. Looking for options for movement. Xavi Alonso. Nicely weighted ball. Oh, shooting chance! Goal!
Well, that's very much changed the complexion. It's also changed mindsets and moods in both teams, and it had to be him. Well, Peter, they're trying to claim offside here, but this stinks of desperation to me. They know they've got it wrong.
Lionel Messi!
So we have the first goal.
Look, he's the one everyone expects to put the ball in the net. That's what he's paid to do.
And it's Messi. And he's managed to get free.
That's very neat.
Xabi Alonso does well to get it back. Well, that defending is unapologetically Messi. He's through on goal here. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. Now it's Messi.
There will be 1 minute
Oh,
added
there
time.
is a look that says it all. A piercing stare.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
And that brings the first half to a close. A very combative, competitive half with just the one decisive moment. It's been compelling stuff. What have we learned from the first 45 minutes?
I think it's a case of so far, so good. The boss has clearly done his homework, and I don't think he needs to change much during the break. Now they've got the lead, they can expect more of the same in the second half.
Nepal can be fairly satisfied then. It's so far so good for them, and it's 1-0 at the break. So, into the second half.
Nepal definitely want to carry on in a similar manner, although I would exercise some caution, Peter. You wouldn't want to leave yourself open in the early minutes trying to kill this off.
He has found the way through. Messi. Chance, surely! It's loose and there's a race for the ball.
Oh, once he made the save, it didn't take the keeper long to start barking at his defence.
Count is offering some sort of an apology there.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
It's Drogba. Well, that looks a decent ball. Alonso, can he get it through? He's picked his way through. Oh, so close to what would have been a memorable goal.
Messi just backs himself every time. Give him a challenge and he rise to it.
So their fourth quarter of the game. And he's taking no chances there. Rafinha! That was superb goalkeeping.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
They're up to 5 corners now. And it's been hooked away. And they are prompt with their pressing. And now they can spring out of defence. Threads one in. Cafu, nice looking ball. It's come to nothing. And he steps in, and that's the end of that. That's been cut out, well played. Odo. Still just the single goal between the sides. And here's Shevchenko. Changes him with that pass. And here's Shevchenko. And he's being shifted off it. It's all a little bit desperate, but it's got the job done.
Oh, that's brilliantly defended, though. It looked destined for a goal.
Cannavaro. Nepal leading then, courtesy of the goal scored late in the first half here. And the score is 1-0.
Well, it's definitely the right attitude and application, Peter. They've got to keep pushing.
Well, they're looking a whole lot more urgent now.
think they just have to keep forcing the issue and they'll get clinical.
Well, that's well spotted. Now, can they get him away? Oh no, what has happened here? Oh, he had to make that, and he did make it. Couch, Rijkaard calmly anticipates. Goes for the shot! Well, he's had a decent crack at it.
Well, that was the one I actually thought he was going to produce. It's a good effort kicking it down like that.
Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, it's not looking good, Peter. You can't just stop playing once you've gone ahead. You're letting the opposition know that you can be got at, and they can so easily raise the pace and tempo to do just that.
Great ball, and he's in here. Big chance! Quick to recover this. Otto cuts it out, and it's Xabi Alonso. Drogba, spread it left. And he cuts out the supply. Well, the manager might be thinking of shuffling his pack here.
Well, you would hope for some movement off the bench, Peter, knowing you get an extra sub in extra time.
Here comes the corner.
Substitution for Barcelona. Number 19.
Corner count is rising.
Shevchenko.
That's 6.
Coming on to replace him is number 17.
Roberto Carlos plays it short.
Substitution in progress.
And Messi! Davids getting this one clear. Turns back here, probably the best option. Roberto Carlos. Shot could be Rafinha! And kept out by the most elastic of saves.
Well, someone's doing his job properly, Peter, that's for sure.
It's a lucky 7th corner. Roberto Carlos with the short one. And the finish! He's done very well to get to that.
Messi clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper.
He's hit it long. Think shapes to shoot! And that is doing no harm at all.
Incredible. He had all the time in the world to pick his spot as well.
Davids. And the shot! Well taken goal. And surely now the result's beyond doubt. Oh, one moment you're in possession, the next you're picking the ball out of your own net. That one will sting.
Well, let that be a lesson to them, Peter. They have to stay focused at all times. Any lapse in concentration, voila.
Substitution for Barcelona. Number 7, Rafinha. Coming on the field is number 22.
Barcelona have opted to make another change here.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes with it, and I think that's happened in this case.
Nepal are now luxuriating in a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, I can't think of a better time, Peter, to get that 2-goal cushion. That, for me, should be decisive.
Tries to pass it through. Chiellini.
That's positional gold, the utilisation of space.
Rijkaard did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. Oh, shoot! And the shot! It's a goal! precise, the finish sumptuous.
Yeah, when you're hit on the counter-attack like that, it's like walking into a sucker punch and they're dazed.
After 82 minutes, number 10, Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi. Substitution for Barcelona. Number 18.
Barcelona making further changes here and in quick succession. So, time for a potential game changer.
Yeah, I think it's time for some brave decision-making.
Just 1 in it now.
Well, they'll just be praying that one more chance falls their way before the whistle goes.
Space for him to turn and look. He's being urged to shoot.
Nepal clearly have been instructed to kill this off. Offence is the best form of defence.
De Bruyne conjures time and space where few can. Tries to play it through.
This usually is the time teams go into conservation mode.
Engages and forces him off the ball. He's had a shot! Oh, good finish! But it's offside.
Yeah, just fractionally late, but it's the right call.
Moment's uncertainty there, but it is the right call.
Bikram.
This is Batistuta. He's cut it out. And he's cleared it out of harm's way. Ball's gone out of play. Messi making good progress on the right-hand side. And for a moment, time stood still.
We're talking about creating a problem for yourself. Okay, credit to good pressing, but that was entirely avoidable.
Number 14.
Desperate defending required here.
Coming on the field is number 20, McAllister.
They've played it short. Nepal are looking to go forward now.
3 minutes at a time.
Oh, that's a key interception. Rijkaard. McAllister makes a dash for it. Otto gets across to intercept that. Looking for the run. McAllister is the team's great visionary. This is... Can he finish? It's it! And right near the end, we have parity. That is so good, such sharp skills and such a delicious finish.
Well, I think he was saying to his teammates, how dare you doubt me?
And in a trice, the substitute has scored already.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
Back. Nothing in it still. We move to extra time, so still inseparable. What do you think, Jim?
Well, look, this has been a hard-fought encounter, Peter, so mistakes are far more likely over the next 30 minutes.
Children's announcement.
So no winner at full time. We will be going the distance.
Staff.
quest to find the winner continues. Nepal pay the price for failing to close out the match in normal time. Can they avoid the same fate here, where the consequences are still more serious? Oh, important interception. And it's Messi. McAllister. Oh, this is a very good run. This is Messi. There's the shot! Looking for a runner. David Villa. Cafu. He won't be happy with that one. Aimed beyond the defence. And that pass just didn't quite work. And Messi! Lacking in accuracy.
I think that's just more proof that this team is very comfortable playing on the break. They're really swift.
Well timed, excellent interception. Probing pass, neatly clipped into space. Buffon gets his hands on it and the danger is averted. And this is Drogba. Oh, looks like he's been taken out there. Oh, it's a foul there right on the edge of the box. Nepal presented with a golden opportunity here. Look of amusement and dismay from the culprit, but the referee clearly thinks there was enough there for a penalty.
Well, you either commit a foul and take one for the team, or just stand by and concede a potential goal. It's not a great choice, Peter, but I think I do the former in that position.
An exchange of stares, and here we go. Oh, good finish! Not a twitch, not a blink.
A picture of confidence. That was never missing.
The goal scorer after 9 minutes in extra time is number 1, Khan.
Nepal have their lead. David Villa knocks it into space, and it's McAllister. It's a searching pass. Adams cuts out the pass. He's found a way past, and the ball is out of play. Cafu, that's a sharp pass. Now it's Messi. Adams gets over and intercepts. Oh, he's burst through. And he was alert to it. Now it's Messi. Cannavaro wins the duel this time. Messi. The pressing's intense and it's paid off. And it's Fernando Torres. Tries to play it through. Rijkaard makes the interception. Messi. Well, that looks a decent ball. Looking for options for movement.
Whatever happens, that's the kind of movement which raises hope.
Roberto Carlos. So there's the whistle, and we will have a brief break. The teams then separated by just one significant moment. How telling will that be? The next 15 minutes will decide.
Substitution for Barcelona, number 10, Messi.
Number 44, Otto.
Exhaustion, physical and mental. Will we find a winner?
Number 23.
Well, this really has been an epic encounter, and there are some tired limbs out there. How much more can the players give? That has not gone well. Now it's Batistuta.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
Great vision. Now it's Pia. And it's De Bruyne. Rijkaard. And it's De Bruyne. Looking to play him in. No way through. No foul, says the referee. That's a cute ball. Cannavaro kept his eye on it, and he's there. Can he get on the end of this? Torres. Chiellini did well to stay calm there. Well read, nice interception. Roberto Carlos. Out towards the flank. Where it came from. This is Neymar. There's the clearance.
Neymar really needed to concentrate on protecting the ball. Then again, he was being very closely marshalled.
That's a simple one for the keeper. Batistuta gets flagged offside.
Substitutions taking place.
Final checks on the touchline. A change about to occur. That pass has been well intercepted. Well, a glitch with the rangefinder there. And Neymar! Well, the finish certainly didn't match the build-up.
Neymar has every reason to be disappointed after being played in so well. The gaffer won't let him forget that.
Substitution.
So a bit of a revolving door here. Lots and lots of changes. And this is Neymar. I think we're just about done here. Pass is coming off in quick succession here. Whatever he had in mind, that was not it.
Well, it's probably safe to say now, Peter, that it's going to be all about game management from here.
Squeeze it through. And it's De Bruyne. Oh, that's a shoot! And a big finish! We thought they were done, but never say never! Wonderfully smooth, smart and slick.
Well, you've always got to have players that are willing to make the runs. And when you keep plugging away, that will happen.
So all square with almost no time remaining.
Credit where it's due. This is great attitude. Now the only question is whether there's enough in the tank to grab another.
Nicely shaped ball. Adams spots it and intercepts. Threads one in. Another chance! Incredible! Just incredible! Oh, that has got to be it! This has to be it!
Was there ever any doubt? Oh, that's excellent composure because the keeper put as much pressure on as he could by not committing sooner.
Added time is up, and there goes the whistle. Nepal, pleasingly clever on the ball. They had their moments, but ultimately they take away nothing. How would you sum up what we've witnessed, Jim?
Hello, everybody.
Nepal really
and
will be
please join
deflated.
Hello, hello, hello. के छ पबजी खेल्ने हो पबजी
Well, conditions here are unkind to say the least. Welcome everybody on a wet night. The rain is tumbling down here by the bucketful, and it is going to have a real impact on the important contest that lies ahead. I'm Peter Drury, and this is Jim Beglin.
Thanks, Peter. It's a pleasure and a privilege for me to be here.
Well, it looks like a big game, sounds like a big game. Everyone involved is absolutely up for it. So straight into the action.
There's the golden nugget, that is Paul Scholes, one of the game's unsung heroes.
And nothing seems to change him. All that adulation is the same though. Rafinha! Now, who's going to be first? That's another chance!
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
And it's Messi.
Barcelona would very much seem to be growing their confidence here. You can feel it.
Xavi Alonso. We expected better, and so did he. Looking for a runner. He won't be happy with that one. Messi. And Shevchenko. Messi going face to face with his great rival. He steps in, and that's the end of that. Rafinha. Messi does really well to win the ball there. Looking for the run. Oh, perfectly measured that. A slightly better ball would have led to a very different outcome there.
Well, everything up to the final pass looked decent. They just couldn't pick out that killer ball.
Now it's Drogba. And it's Shevchenko. Rafinha. Goes for goal! That's what you call inspired goalkeeping.
Rafinha clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper.
Barcelona with the corner. They're first. Oh, good climb! Shooting chance! Oh, that is rather wayward.
But that always looked a little ambitious for me, but still, at least he had the confidence to take it on.
Shevchenko, now it's Messi. Serginho. Van Nistelrooy. He's gone down, but the referee just tells him to get back up again. Has not gone well. So Jim, what have you made of what we've seen so far?
Well, I think both teams probably feel it's too early for either to start taking real risks. So they're still very much in a phase of testing the waters and sizing each other up.
Oh, that's a key interception. Cafu. looking to pass their way up the pitch. No way through. Nicely weighted ball. This is Drogba. It's Drogba! Goal! About as smooth as it gets. The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Barcelona are such an adept counter-attacking team. They produced something out of nothing there. A few seconds was all it took for them to convert the defensive situation into a goal. And it's very impressive.
Barcelona have fired themselves in front.
Yeah, and just as the manager's been reminding his players, this is the time where they can't afford to let their focus slip.
Van Nistelrooy! But he's left disappointed.
Van Nistelrooy has taken on too much there. That isn't one of the areas he thrives on.
Oh, easy pickings there. It's Ronaldinho. And Batistuta! Batistuta! Utterly brilliant! Sumptuous finish, an absolute joy! A game of thrills, all square in the blinking of an eye!
Yeah, they say that fortune favours the brave, and we've just seen an example. This team has real personality and character.
Unstoppable. Just how do they contain him?
Batistuta demonstrated great strength there. I mean, he really had to hold his man off and just create enough room for him to be able to get the shot away. And I think it's just top play.
Nepal restore parity.
You've got to commend that, Peter. It's the perfect response to falling behind. Don't let your heads drop. Just get back up the pitch and level the scores again. This is cracking stuff.
Still very early doors, but it is a closely contested affair. Serginho wins the duel this time. Van Nistelrooy going after that. Gone for a throw-in. Couldn't squeeze it through. Well, a glitch with the rangefinder there, and evident annoyance.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
Great vision. Short changes him with that pass. Oh, that's well spotted. Super ball. Shevchenko gets on the end of things as a matter of habit. Scores. Well read, nice interception. The most accurate pass. No, that was never going to make it. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
Drogba. Serginho. Now it's Batistuta. Now it's Drogba. Great defending, strong and determined. Rijkaard demonstrating his defensive quality there. And he's there to make the challenge. Ronaldinho. There's the clearance. Played into space. Ronaldinho is offering some sort of an apology there.
His teammates are really annoyed with that, you know, and they have every right to be.
And a chance! It's loose now and they want to get it. Oh, what has happened here? That's good intervention. That was what he had to make in the face of danger that was growing. Drogba! And he should have made them pay.
And that's poor. That's a poor decision he's made there. He should have trusted his instincts.
It's a sharp little ball here. Roberto Carlos. Rijkaard. Ronaldinho. Roberto Carlos kept his eye on it, and he's there. Chiellini. Scholes. Oh, good spread.
If they want to counter, they could do with more speed.
Whatever he had in mind, that was not it. Serginho. And that has left him in a heap. Well, that's a foul. Free kick's been given. And he has shown him a yellow card. Wonderful alertness. Rafinha just eases him off the ball. He's going to be disappointed with that. Oh, that's beautifully weighted. Oh, he's been caught on it here. And the pass is intercepted. So temporary hook to the action. So it's all square. Neither side has been able to make a telling difference, but it hasn't been for the lack of trying. How would you review the first half?
Well, I don't think either side will have too much to complain about or worry about, Peter. 1-1 is a fair reflection of the game so far. So it'll be fascinating to see how both teams go about trying to establish a little more control in this second half.
And it has been tight, it's been competitive. Each side with one significant moment. And at half-time, the score is 1-1. And so the action is resumed. And Nistelrooy finds himself offside. Xavi Alonso. Roberto Carlos. And it's Shevchenko. Interception, his positioning was spot on. Forwards and with intent. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. He's through here. Picked out brilliantly. Well, it didn't look good for a while, but that was brave defending, and they got away with it.
Oh, that's brilliantly defended, though. It looked destined for a goal.
Long time, excellent interception. Batistuta gets flagged offside. Messi tries to pass it through.
That's positional goals, the utilisation of space.
Corner number 2 then. They've played it short, and it's Messi. He'll try from distance! Nearly, but not quite.
Well, it wasn't the worst decision, really. He certainly had enough belief to take it on.
Rafinha, looking to play him in. Alonso. Nistelrooy. And here's Shevchenko, and he welcomes it in, and the shots! Messi. Scholes. Cannavaro. Roberto Carlos. Cannavaro gets over and intercepts. Lovely pass, but can he get there? Messi. That's a little off target. Now it's Messi. Serginho. It's a nicely shaped ball. Nepal claiming a corner, and the referee concurs. Barcelona have the chance to go the other way. It's a searching pass. Somewhat off target. Xavi Alonso. Messi. He's shifting through the gears here. Nice control. Great chance! That pass has been... He's going for goal! It's a super hit, but it was always just off target.
Well, I think he's surprised himself how he managed not to hit the target then. He seemed to believe it was going in.
Well, the manager might be thinking of shuffling his pack here.
Well, the manager must be thinking to himself whether he's got a game changer on that bench, and he needs to act quickly.
And Messi! He has hit that forcefully.
Well, it was a confident attempt, and he made it look like a dawdle the way he generated that power.
That is a little undercooked. And it's Serginho. Batistuta. Big chance! It's off target and by quite a way.
I think that's just more proof that this team is very comfortable playing on the break. They're really swift.
Substitution for Barcelona. Number 7, Rafinha.
So time for change.
Coming on the field
This one has been on the cards for a little
number
while.
Well, this could be a bit of a nightmare scenario for the defence, as you're going to be facing a very willing runner now, especially one that likes to make those runs beyond the defensive line.
He's got away. Otto did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. And he's in on goal. Cafu clears it away. And that's another throw. Nistelrooy, can he get it through?
Might want to be careful there.
Now, can they get him away? Messi. Chiellini. And he's intervened well there. Messi. Chiellini. Short changes him with that pass. Nistelrooy. He'd have done well to reach that.
Substitution for Barcelona. Number 19, Shevchenko. Coming on to replace him is number 11,
Torres.
Neymar.
Chiellini makes the interception. Serginho. Roberto Carlos. Oh, that looks a cracking ball. Now it's Messi. And the shot! Goal! Barcelona! And again they hit the front. Oh, beautifully dispatched. There was no reaching that.
That's expertly finished, and he's done that so often.
55 minutes is
And yes, it's him again. So we have movement on both benches. Barcelona have their lead. Looking for options for movement. He has found the way through. And that could well leave a mark. No foul, says the referee. And that was very necessary.
They may end up with some regret with this tactic, but you have to admire their commitment to goals.
Well, quality clearly deserted him at the crucial moment.
Yeah, he just didn't seem to get enough on the pass, Peter, did he?
Chance for a shot! He's got a goal! And the lead lost no time at all!
Yeah, since going a goal down, they've dug in to produce a really fine spell, which for me deserved that equaliser.
After 80 minutes is number
It was
21.
casual, it was careless, and it has proven costly.
Yeah, they've only got themselves to blame. Mistakes in those areas are very punishable.
And it didn't take him long. Just sitting on the bench and waiting moments ago, already he has scored.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
It is compelling, this, utterly compelling.
Well, I think the players will be buoyed by the fact that they've managed to level things in a hurry. Tails most definitely up now.
That is good alertness. Well, the ball just didn't work out for the run that he made.
Nepal clearly didn't help themselves by telegraphing that one. It was always going to be intercepted.
Cannavaro spots it and intercepts. Cannavaro kept aware and it is reclaimed easily. It's an imaginative pass. Well, the run has been sold a little bit short there.
Well, I think the opposition saw that pass coming a mile off, and it wasn't the best decision.
Now he's got space here.
Well, that might be that.
Tries from distance. Oh, a very decent attempt.
Well, in my opinion, set pieces are 50-50 moments, and this is a rather big one, and it all depends on the service.
And now a sudden chance to counter.
They're avoiding the blatantly obvious by not getting the ball into the opposition box. That's where it has to be.
And it's Kane. Lovely pass, but can he get Neymar! And it's hit the woodwork and out! He's seen that early, used a certain sixth sense, and he's there to get it away.
Added minutes
Good
have been
looking ball.
indicated.
That pass isn't the best. Into a minimum of 4 minutes additional time. Knocks it into space. That's a shot at goal! And a terrific save from the keeper.
Filippo Inzaghi really must be thinking what he has to do to score there. Oh, this is a Hollywood or bust corner. The final whistle is up next.
Now that looks a decent ball. Aimed beyond the defence. Oh, that was vital. Rijkaard. No way through. Counts. Oh, well played. Rijkaard is the team's great visionary, Fernando Torres. Nothing in it still. We move to extra time. Oh, still no winner, Jim.
Well, look, this has been a hard-fought encounter, Peter, so mistakes are far more likely over the next 30 minutes.
To pay a visit to our official
So
store.
a brief break, and then we will be back for more. 90 minutes gone and nothing between them still. Nepal displayed great character to force extra time from what looked a pretty ominous situation. The question, it's Inzaghi! Oh wow, that's crazy! So is that it? Is this the moment they stole it? There was no getting to that, no getting to it at all. Expertly done.
Well, Peter, I think the keeper knew straight away he was never going to get to it.
Is number 4, Filippo Inzaghi.
So we have a breakthrough. Now how will things develop from here? It's a pretty loose pass. Messi. Cannavaro with the clearance. Ronaldinho. And it's Roberto Carlos.
Whatever happens, that's the kind of movement which raises hope.
That's a little off target. Tries to play it through.
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
And that's a simple one for the keeper. He's quick to return it. Well cut out, no margin for error there at all. McAllister. He plays one through. And he's there to belt it away.
This is the time you need that pace.
Well, now here's a good battle, bicep to bicep. Roberto Carlos with the challenge, and he has given away a free kick. That's going to be a booking.
Yeah, we guessed that this scenario could take place because he's up against pace.
Impressive jump! And that really should have been that.
Filippo Inzaghi really thought he'd scored to settle this contest, and he's struggling to believe being denied.
And the pass is intercepted. Now it's Messi. Can he get on the end of this? Drogba! And that's a real chance missed.
He's really...
Alonso! And how did he not put that away? Nepal get their 4th corner. Getting up there! That's clear cut. It's a free kick. Going into that little black book.
Look, we can't say that's a surprise, Peter. He knew what the consequences were. He really did.
That pass has been well intercepted. And it's Ronaldinho. He's gone for goal. Oh no, that could be a costly miss.
Substitution for Barcelona, number 44.
They're up to 5 corners now.
Coming on the field is number 23,
And it's been taken short.
Only 1 minute added time.
Buffon claims comfortably. Well, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Mendes cuts it out. So just 15 minutes still to come. Nepal have done it in good style. Forced to come from behind, they find themselves in front at half-time, which is, for them, more or less ideal. 1 goal in it, and we're down to the last 15 minutes. Everyone on their last legs. Can there be one final twist?
Substitution for Barcelona. Number 10, Messi. Coming on to replace him is...
And we're off for the final time.
Substitutions taking
They
place.
have played themselves to a near standstill. What is left? It's Drogba! Off the post! Another one of football's and how moments. Slightly undercooked that one.
They should have done a lot better there. The final ball was very poor.
Great ball, and he's in here. Decent chance! And that could come back to haunt them.
Fernando Torres absolutely knew he could ill afford to miss that.
Threads one in. Inzaghi providing an outlet on that flank. And the shot! And a neat finish! And this is getting better and better. And that will surely go down as one of the easiest goals he could ever score.
Yeah, it's mystifying that a player of his talent wasn't picked up sooner, and he picked them off instead.
So the lead now is 2.
Well, that's pretty much sealed it now, and surely, Peter, we're not going to see any complacency after that.
Buffon gets his hands on it, and the danger is averted. Lovely pass, but less than ideal.
Nepal clearly should have gone for the easier pass. Now they'll have to quickly regroup.
Rijkaard. Nicely weighted ball. That has been cut short. Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
Nepal clearly didn't help themselves by telegraphing that one. It was always going to be intercepted.
This certainly looks appetising, well within shooting range. So the perfect chance to get one back. Roberto Carlos! Beckenbauer getting this one clear. Rijkaard. McAllister. Stoichkov. Oh, well played, well sorted out. Stoichkov is sporting a guilty look after that. Oh, he made it. Roberto Carlos! That was superb goalkeeping.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
So, third corner of the game. Roberto Carlos plays it short. He's free, he has got space. And now they can spring out of defence. And this is Inzaghi, looking for the run. Oh, no joy this time. Cannavaro. It's Roberto Carlos. He's going to be disappointed with that. Can he get it through? Well, the ball just didn't work out. And that will be the final act. Nepal have won it by sheer force of character. As winning teams do, they managed to find that little extra when they needed it. Drogba picking up the Man of the Match award, and no surprise there.
In the area around the stadium is strictly
Well, how will we look on that?
What a game, Peter, and what a result. Give me this every week, please. So many times I'm thinking, okay, that's got to be it. But so much late drama, and at a time when it's very tough on both body and mind.
So thank you very much, Jim, for joining me. That brings us to the end of our coverage. So from us both, a very good evening.
minutes.